Your silence is hurting them more than you think. There comes a time when words lose their power, when explanations are useless, when defending yourself is a waste of breath. In that moment, silence becomes the greatest weapon. Because silence is not a weakness. It is not surrender, it is controlled. A man ruled by emotions speaks to prove a point. A man ruled by discipline speaks only when necessary. And when he withholds his words, he forces the world to listen to his actions instead. One's silence exposes their insecurity. A fool thrives on conflict. He seeks your reaction because it gives him purpose. He wants to see you flinch, argue, justify yourself, because it reassures him that he still has power over you. But when you do not respond, he is left with himself. He is forced to face the emptiness of his own words. And in that silence he drowns. As Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. The moment you refuse to engage, you rob them of the battle they so desperately crave. 2. Silence shows strength, not weakness. We have been trained to believe that speaking up is always a sign of strength, but the wise know better. A man who cannot control his tongue is a man without power. He is at the mercy of his emotions, pulled in every direction by his anger, his pride, and his need to be understood. But a disciplined he speaks only when it serves a purpose. He knows that silence can cut deeper than the sharpest words, that withholding a response is sometimes the greatest display of power. Epic Teachers reminds us, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocatio. Do not give them that satisfactio. 3. Silence forces them to respect you. A man who constantly explains himself, who begs to be heard, who argues for the sake of pride, he lowers himself. But a man who knows his worth does not chase validatio. He does not seek approval. He simply is, and that is what commands respect. Out loud words, not endless debates, but the quiet, unshaken presence of a man who knows his value. Seneca wrote, the greatest remedy for anger is delay. And what is silence if not the ultimate delay? For silence makes them fear your next move. The greatest advantage is unpredictability. When they do not know what you are thinking, when they cannot anticipate your next move, they grow restless. This is why the most powerful men in history, leaders, warriors, strategists, have all mastered the art of silence. They understand that uncertainty breeds fear. If you must respond, let it be through actio. OT, through words. Final thoughts. The weak argue. The undisciplined explains, but the strong they endure in silence. Because words are temporary, arguments fade, but the presence of a man who cannot be shaken, that is unforgettable. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, ask yourself, do they deserve my words? Or will my silence be my answer? More often than not, silence will say everything that needs to be said. 5. Silence. Let reality be the judge. Truth does not need to be defended. It simply is. A man who constantly argues for his righteousness shows that he is unsure of it. But a man who remains silent in the face of lies, accusations, and insults understands a deeper truth. Reality will reveal everything in time. Lies collapse under their own weight. Deception cannot stand against the passing of days. The more your enemies speak, the more they expose themselves. And when you refuse to engage, when you stay silent, you allow the truth to unfold on its own, without staining your hands in the mud of petty battles. As Cato the Younger once said, "Consider in silence every word that comes from another's mouth, and look closely for its meaning before you answer." A wise man knows that silence is not just a tool. It is a test of who has patience, who has discipline, and who is truly in control. For more wisdom that sharpens the mind and strengthens the soul, subscribe and turn on notifications. And if this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. When was the last time your silence spoke for you? Until next time, stay disciplined, stay unshake.